Did you know that there's a way you can practice your homework problems? And I'm talking about before and after you complete them. So while you're trying to get them done and you're getting stuck and you don't want to use up all your attempts, and when you're trying to get ready for the test after, and it's been a while and you've forgotten some of the material, let me show you. Okay, so you go into assignments. This is where your homework's located. I'll just click on one of the sections and click on one of the problems. And you'll notice that there's only a limited number of attempts that you have, right? So you have 4 attempts per problem. You'll see, what do you see here? So you'll see, here's the problem I'm working on. It's question number 2 in the homework that was assigned. But up in the right-hand corner here, it says that it's 6.5, that's the section number, 6-5, chapter 6, section 5, on the central limit theorem. But it says 0.5 again. The second 0.5 is that it's like number 5 in the book. So that's good. That means that when you have textbook open, you can look at the exercises and see that this is similar to that. And there's certain answers in the back of the textbook, or in our case, since it's an electronic textbook most of the time, there's some at the in the appendix for the student answers. So that's good if you're just wanting to compare an answer. But in addition, you have the help me solve this. That helps you to practice, but it uses up these attempts that you have, right? And I do that because I want students to be serious about the attempts. I don't want them to use the help me solve this, have them figure out how to do it once, and then endlessly be able to keep going back and using help me solve this and never really soak it into their long-term memory. So that's one way you can practice before you actually submit your homework. And the other way you can practice, actually that's 2, because you can go into the textbook and you can do the similar problem, section 6.5.5. But the other way you can practice is you can go into the study plan. So you'll have to close the homework page to do that. And the study plan allows you to do little practice quizzes. I'm not saying whether you should do those or not because you're not going to get points for those, so it's your choice. Let me see if I can show you more of what's in this window. Quiz me is what I'm referring to. But you can view all chapters. And again, I'm in the study plan. You can choose chapter 6, go to the section I'm on, 6.5, and then this one right here is like the question I was looking at, number 2, 6.5.5. So then I can do that. And sometimes there are more problems in the study plan than you would see in the homework, so it gives you even more practice. And there's definitely more in the textbook. I don't assign all the homework problems, believe it or not. So, so I could come in here. Here's a similar problem to the one I was doing, where I can again use help me solve this. And I can do, in here I can do it endlessly until I really know what's going on. And it's not going to use up my 4 attempts. So it's a nice little tool to be able to have. Now in some cases you might even see a view example tool over here, and I think I turned most of those off, but view example will let you see a similar problem to this one in a separate window while you're working on it. That's sometimes helpful because you're going to just kind of bounce back and forth, you know, see the numbers here and see the numbers there. The problem is I find that most people aren't getting anywhere close to getting into their long-term memory when they use view example. But at least if they use help me solve this, they're going to get it in their long-term memory. And probably more importantly, they're going to be able to do the problem right when they're doing it in their regular homework. So let me come back to one of those regular homework problems. Okay, now when I am using help me solve this, I'm just going to make up some number here, blah, blah, blah. Get it wrong. Okay, so I tried once, twice, and then I'm going to try one more time, and I've got it wrong. What I should have done before I actually got it wrong is I should have gone to help me solve this. So try it on your own as much as possible. Treat each homework problem like a test problem, basically. So I try it again and again, and before I try it that last input, there's 3 inputs and 4 complete attempts. I can try help me solve this. I can go through the whole process here. It's going to actually tutor me, so I have to be involved. I have to answer some of these questions, and I can close these. Now when I close them, it marks my problem wrong completely and it starts over with different numbers. And if I do help me solve this again, it'll use the identical numbers. I don't know if you're seeing all that. And it'll tutor me through where I have to be involved and engage with myself with the program, where that is also different from view example. View example doesn't make you be engaged. And I close it, and there are new numbers again. So I can use help me solve this, and each time I'm using up my attempts. I'll go ahead and close it, and I've used up 3 of my 4 attempts. So now I'm on my last attempt. The nice thing is when you're on your last attempt, you can use help me solve this endlessly. So what I really suggest is that you try all 3 full attempts, with 3 inputs for each box. Try all that on your own. Go into the textbook or your notes. And then if you really do get stuck and you're on your final attempt, do not put anything in on your own until you know it through using Help Me Solve This. That's how Help Me Solve This can be used correctly, where you're trying everything on your own first, meaning textbook reading, PowerPoints, your notes, watching videos. And then if you're on your very last of your 4 attempts, Help Me Solve This can be used infinitely. Just on your last attempt, it can be used infinitely. So just keep using it, because it won't use the same numbers at that point. So now, where Help Me Solve This usually uses the identical values, it's not using the identical values, if you can see this here, 1.9 versus 2.6. But the nice thing about it is I close it and it doesn't use that last of my 4 attempts. Pretty nice, huh? Okay, I have to quickly answer the last part of this. So I said that you can use it to help you before you answer, before you turn in your homework, and after you complete them. So the after part is this. Suppose that it's now time for a test or a midterm or a final, whatever, and you've completed all these assignments. One way you can go in and review them is to just roll over them. So if you roll over, now unfortunately I haven't done a lot here, so I'm going to go, let's see if I have any homework done. Okay, right here. So I'm going to roll over one that I've done. Now you need to do it to be able to practice. So I can go back and review. And when you roll over, you click on the blue link. And now I'm in the review page. This is not exactly the same as the gradebook page. I'll show you the small difference. But anyways, then I can click review and do those sections that I've done before. So if you go to the gradebook, you can have the same thing happen. But the gradebook will show you scores differently over here. So it's not that big of a deal. But anyway, hit review, study those questions that you missed or that you got right before you take the test or before you take the midterm or final. All right, hope that wasn't too lengthy.